Hello and welcome to Super Saints, where we're out to discover not only what makes our saints a little like our favorite superheroes, but in some ways what makes them even more super. Our first saint today, Volume 1, Issue 1, is Moses. Not Moses from the Old Testament, but Saint Moses, sometimes called Moses the Ethiopian, Moses the Strong, or Moses the Black. Moses was the leader of a band of thieves and robbers and murderers in Egypt in the 300s, and he was a pretty tough dude. He one day was trying to commit a robbery and someone's dog barked and disrupted it. So to get some vengeance, he swam across the Nile River with his sword between his teeth to murder the guy and his dog who disrupted his robbery. Eventually, Moses had to hide from the authorities in a monastery, and he began to realize that there was something missing from his life. So he repented, he left behind his ways, and he joined the monastery, became a monk. One of the days while he was learning, in his first days of being a monk, some robbers from his old gang broke into the monastery where he was living. 4 of them. Moses proceeded to overpower all of them, tie them up, and as a new monk, unsure what to do, he carried all 4 of them down to the abbot, dumped them on the floor, and said, "I found these 4 guys breaking in. I don't think I should kill them. What should I do with them?" And the abbot said, "You're right, don't kill them. You should forgive them and let them go." And Moses said, okay. He cut them loose, he said, "I forgive you," and all 4 of them joined the monastery. So, Saint Moses, with his amazing strength and his very short temper, is a lot like the Incredible Hulk, who also had amazing strength and a very short temper, but he got his through some extra gamma radiation. But there's an important difference between Saint Moses and the Hulk in how they use their anger. The Hulk directed his anger towards good ends, but it was still fundamentally uncontrolled anger, just rage pointed at a target that deserved it. Whereas Moses sought to control his anger, not to repress it and eliminate it, but to allow his anger to help him pursue justice. Not vengeance, not retribution, but true and sincere justice. At one point, Moses was called upon to help judge a brother who had committed a sin. And Moses reminded all of the other monks of his own sins and the need that they had for forgiveness, for justice, but for forgiveness as well. And so, there's one enemy that the Hulk is never really going to be able to defeat, that Moses was able to defeat, and that is his own anger. The Hulk can direct his anger, Bruce Banner can kind of manipulate it a little bit, but he can never truly defeat it. He can never truly be in control of his anger. And that's what Moses achieved. And that's what we should all strive for. Moses achieved it through prayer, through dedication, and through constant seeking out of God's grace through the sacraments. So when we find ourselves struggling with anger, then we need to follow Moses' example. We need to keep turning back to God, keep handing our anger over to Him, and realizing that our anger should help us to do good, help us to fight injustice, but we shouldn't let it control us. So, whether we're struggling with anger or working to grow in strength, St. Moses the Black, pray for us.